A good midday Wednesday to everyone. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. We have quite a rainstorm in progress, also some strong gusty winds interacting with terrain, and most of this in northern and western areas currently right now, and also across the tops of the spine of the Green Mountains. This is a weather system that features a frontal boundary that's going to be pushing in here later on this afternoon, and pretty much late in the day, and we're going to see a wind shift and end the wind event of strong south to southeasterly winds blowing in with this vigorous area of low pressure. This is going to be taking a track, it looks like, toward James Bay. Eventually a ridge will build into the region, and that'll set us up for a couple days from now, basically an area of higher pressure for Friday. Friday is my pick of the week. This area of low pressure, this is at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet aloft. But you can see the wind gusts and pretty broad circulation moving in out of the Ohio River Valley. These winds will not be as strong tonight, but will flare up during Thursday when this area of low pressure will have moved to the north and east. We'll be in a position to have some decent mixing conditions, and that'll allow those stronger wind velocities to come down from aloft and down to the surface, interacting with terrain, especially along the central and southern Green Mountains during the day tomorrow, Thursday. And at that point in time, we're going to be seeing colder temperatures work on in. It's rather cold out west, but a bit of this will break off and move into the region and set the temperature back a little bit before those temperatures make another rise as we get another influx out of the southwest with another repeat system that'll work in along about Saturday. Let's take a look at the latest computer modeling. We have the European on the left-hand side and the GFS ensemble on the right-hand side. You can see the frontal boundary with an area of rainfall. To the north of us, some pretty good snowfall, but that's where winter has been occurring up in Canada. For us, it's been a little bit more fall-like, and indeed, this is our weather pattern. This is the frontal boundary that's going to be working on through, and effectively it will end our wind event with those southerly winds, and then those winds will shift to basically kind of west-southwesterly and eventually northwesterly during the day on Thursday. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning. That's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and you can see the winds will also blow in a kind of a weak disturbance that will also add a little bit more snowfall to the region. We're talking probably a dusting to about an inch. And temperatures are going to be marginal for that down on valley floors, where highs tomorrow should get up around 35 or so. Eventually, high pressure is going to build in for basically Thursday night into the day on Friday. Friday is the pick of the week with this area of higher pressure. And then we repeat the system yet again. Not quite as strong an area of low pressure, but still pretty vigorous, working its way into Canada. And again, that's going to make for rain that moves in on Saturday. And then eventually, a cold frontal passage along about Saturday night. That's going to be followed by some lake effect plumes. You can see these coming off the Great Lakes, but it looks relatively short-lived. And by the time we hit Sunday, we're looking at a better day here as high pressure begins to ridge into the region. Just a couple leftover lake effect plumes. Most of that will be heading south of Vermont with a bit of a northwesterly wind. That ridge will be in effect on Sunday, and then by Monday, we're looking at this more vigorous Arctic frontal system that's going to be pushing on in, per the European. I have no GFS ensemble for you today, but this is the Weather Prediction Center 7-day total rainfall amount. You can see where our rainfall is coming in basically out of the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys and pushing north and east and then swinging out to sea, of course. Looking at the latest temperatures across the region, we have basically, you can see where the frontal boundary is. You can't miss that. And that was right here. This is 0Z last night. So we have warmer air coming in out ahead of it, some pretty cold air dropping in, and these are pretty anomalously cold temperatures spreading in from Alaska and across western Canada. Next 5 days of meteorological output statistics, these are the high temperatures only. We're going to be running anywhere from around 3 to 6 degrees above normal. You can see where the cold air has made a pretty good indentation into the northern and western part of North America, the United States. And about 3 days later, some of that makes it into the northern plains, east of the Rockies, and of course across Canada. We still end up with temperatures running about 6 degrees above normal because we're seeing these oscillations where temperatures fall and then they make a rise. And that's what's going to happen just around the corner. Don't have day 30 in the data set yet, but you can see that temperatures are running about 60.3 degrees above normal. This is centered on Barry Montpelier EF Knapp Airport. Looking at Northern Hemisphere snowfall, we kind of started back in October below normal. We kind of caught up a bit, really jumped the gun here around the mid part of November where things cooled off almost coast to coast, and we started to pick up a pretty good snowpack. And then we warmed things back up, and you can see that we're kind of hiding into the pack now. Now looking at, that's the northern hemisphere. Looking at North America, it looks like this. So again, a pretty good jump off, and then back into more moderation here, kind of in the medium part in terms of automated snowfall and what is accrued so far through the end of the month of November. And we're going to end on this note here. We're looking at temperatures currently right now, and these temperatures are powering up into the low and mid 40s. A couple spots, 34 degrees this hour with rain across the areas around Hartnett State Airport in Springfield. I think we're going to see those temperatures make a pretty fast rise here the rest of this afternoon as we get a lot of mixing winds, and those winds aloft are actually milder than what's down at the surface in some of our valleys east of the Green Mountains. The other thing to look at here, of course, is wind gust. You can see the rain working in. And looking at, of course, current weather, we have pretty much rain everywhere. That's it from here, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.